This is a Coleman 502 I found at a local dump. I sprayed it down with some penetrating oil. I like to get it running, but yeah, it's going to need, definitely has a lot of stuff wrong with it. So we'll see how that goes. So we're going to disassemble this thing. Supposed to be a 7/16, but 11 millimeters is the same. So I'm gonna get that off and take the generator rod out. See what that looks like. So I took the generator rod out. As I expected, this thing is really rough, so I might end up replacing that part. We're gonna let that soak for a long time, and then hopefully that thing will come apart. Like I said, I found it in a dump. So, but the goal behind this is to get this running. I'll soak this, spray some penetrant down there, but I'm probably gonna have to look for some new parts and pieces, including a new seal maybe. Yeah. So far we got one screw out. Be careful here, I don't want to bust this thing. Just keep working her back and forth till it comes out. Well, it's coming out. Look at these burner discs. Like, that is pretty gross. Oh boy. Didn't expect that. Well, I might have to soak that one. But we're getting there. We're going to use an adjustable wrench and just grab the outside gently and see if this thing will move. This is called the Bunsen apparently. So, but look how bad that is. But, whatever. It's a learning process. Never done this before. I've never even operated a stove before, so hey, I'm willing to give it a shot. Doesn't look like it's gonna go. Might have to let it soak for a while. Well, let's see what that looks like inside the pump here. Oh boy. That's pretty nasty. You can see inside there, there's all the rust. I'm gonna pull this thing out. Oh boy. Well, definitely needs lots of penetrant. So I ran stock. This guy here is so seized. We'll let it soak for a while. Either that or maybe I'll have to use a little bit of heat. But there's the parts. So that thing does not want to come off. So I'm going to try heat it up with a torch. Heated it up. Hey, look at that. This thing was not going to come off just with penetrant. So we'll have to straighten this out. Oh boy. Look at the junk in there. But it's off. So this is what it looks like underneath this thing. We'll try to take those screws out. Wow, those are not seized. Well, we'll let it cool down and then we'll get a blowgun in there, clean it up, go from there. So we're going to go ahead and take these screws out. That'll expose the bottom of the fount. That is rusty. Next up is undo this. Might end up painting that thing. We're going to give this thing a couple shots of brake clean. Well, I know this is probably not advisable, but I'm going to do it anyway. Like, look at that coming out. Might end up changing the check valve. So we'll start with this. There's the bunsen. Clean all these parts really well. Just cleaning this out. Inside here is the check valve. So what I did was I just blew that out, nice and clean. The check valve works because I can blow air in this way, but I can't suck it back out that way. I just got some brake clean in the fount here. I gotta clean all these things out. So my tank here is pretty rough. So I'm going to start sanding it. I already started sanding it, and then I'm going to repaint it. This is what it looks like now. Time for paint. So I'm taking a wire brush, and I'm just cleaning up these parts. Shine them up. Make them clean and new. Here's the fount all cleaned up. I sort of shined up the brass. I do like a little bit of patina look to it. Just brushed it. Not super clean. Well, I'm going to start assembling this thing and then see what comes out. Next up, put the valves back in. Got the standpipe or pip put back in, I think they call it. Yeah, I got my pump back in. I managed to reuse the gasket for the seal. I soaked it for like 3 weeks. So, see if it works. So I soaked all my parts in vinegar and I scrubbed them with an SOS pad, steel wool. And I'm starting to put my stove back together. I'm really hoping this is going to work. Alright, we got some of those parts mounted up. Next up is this thing. Trying to weasel that in there like that. And I imagine it's this burner plate. Tighten that down. So I installed my burners, my generator, and then also the tip cleaner. Now I got it more together. It's starting to look not bad. I'm gonna put the top grill on. I'll put the screws in that and we'll do a pressure test. So there, it's all back together. Only thing left is I'm getting a new seal for that. Plus also I need, I'm waiting for some decals from the States, but that might be a couple weeks. Well, maybe I'll try fill it up and see if it works. Alright, I got it full of gas. I'm going to rotate this tip cleaner multiple times. I'm going to do this where hopefully I have a chance where it won't be a, light on fire. So I got an extinguisher. I'm going to go in the driveway on the gravel. And we're going to see if my first ever rebuild Coleman stove is going to go. Rotate the tip cleaner. Turn it to the on position. Turn it to a quarter. Hey, look at that. It lights. I've never thought I'd see this, but it actually works. That's amazing. This Coleman stove was found at a local dump. Wow, all that hard work paid off. All right, first cook. Got the Coleman 502 from the early 60s. We're gonna cook eggs on our General Steelware 1941 pan. Rotate the tip cleaner to the on position. Uh-oh. I wasn't sure what had happened here, but the gas had all of a sudden shut off. So I rotated that tip cleaner as fast as I could to see if I could get it to go. And then all of a sudden it started hissing again. It spit at me a little bit, but I got it to fire back up again. I've never used one of these stoves. How are you supposed to know if you've never done one before? So I put that General Steelware's pan back on and I pumped that pump. And I discovered that when you pump the pump, you build up a lot more flame because the pressure in the tank is a lot higher. Turned it back on and turned it up and it looked like we were good to go. It's going pretty good there. Never thought I'd see a Coleman thing from the dump start cooking. Oops. Apparently I lost an egg. Not entirely sure what I'm doing wrong. Well, so far it looks like my first attempt is kind of lousy. So it turns out my problem was I've never used a pressure fuel stove before, so I really gotta play with this, but I think I was just not enough pressure in my tank. So I cranked it up and now it's really going.